will learn two things. You will learn two things. Okay? First, you're going to use the expression how long. So, but how long? How long have you blah blah. Okay? And this is a question, of course. The answer to the question is going to be like this. I have blank for blank. Or I have blank since blank. This is quite easy. Let me give you an example. Right? Let me give you an example. Tony says, how long have you worn glasses? You are given this question to Jimmy. Hey Jimmy, how long have you worn glasses? How long? And here, have you worn? This is a present perfect tense. Present perfect tense. 현재완료. Have PP. How long have you worn glasses? Repeat after me, everybody. How long have you worn glasses? Of course, worn is the past participle for the word wear. What does it mean? 입다, 착용하다. Okay? The question. Tony says, how long have you worn glasses, Tony? And Jimmy says, Jimmy, how long? I have worn glasses. What do you want to say? Are you going to say with for? Or are you going to say with since?
Since.
Yes, since. Since what? Since
19?
Since I was 9. Since I was 9. Since I was 9. Minjun has chosen a difficult answer. Good, Minjun. I have worn since I was 9. So it's been, you are now 13, 13, so it's been almost 4 years. For 4 years, right? Okay, almost 4 years. Good, Tony. And Jimmy says, Jimmy asks this question. How long have you lived in this city, Gimhae? Pretty obvious. How long have you lived in Gimhae? How long? Oops. How long? Yes, it has to be the red color. How long have you lived in Gimhae? How long have you lived in Gimhae? And Tony, how long? I have lived in this city. Now, idoshi, like refers to Gimhae, of course. I have lived in this city. Are you going to say with for, or are you going to say with since?
Since.
Okay, since. Since I was born? Okay, since I was born. Good answer, Tony. I have lived in this city since I was born. I have lived in city since I was born. Very good answer, Tony.
Yeah.
Tony said, how long have you worn glasses? And Jimmy said, I have worn glasses since I was 9. Jimmy said, how long have you lived in Gimhae? Tony said, I have lived in city since I was born. Perfect answers, perfect questions. Okay, if you don't know what to do, what to say, like Jimmy, Tony doesn't wear. So Tony can say, I don't wear glasses. Okay? Do you guys have pets? Do you guys have pets?
Yeah.
You have a pet?
Yeah.
What is this?
Pets.
Oh, I have had a cat. And Tony, do you have a pet?
No.
So you can say, did you have a pet before? Never.
Never.
Okay, you can say, I have never had a pet like this.
해준대. cat.
Cat.
Never had. I have a cat. No.
Yeah.
What I'm about to say, I have had. I'm sorry. I was going to say cat, but I should say had. I have had. several, but have had. Have had. This means 가져왔다. Have never had. 가진 적이 없다. 단 한 번도. Okay? Or you can also say to the questions, have you ever worn, how long have you worn glasses? Like, I have never worn glasses, right? I have never worn glasses. Now, you, Tony, and Jimmy are going to have this conversation. All of these questions. Yeah, you should prepare for your own answers. And then you can write here, Jimmy. Or Tony. Okay? Tony, Jimmy. Guys, come on, look at it. Separate but amount. Amount means 양. So amount of time in 시간의 양. It's like a 기간. Okay? And here you go. Specific. Specific. 구체적.
Specific.
Yes. 사실은 이거는 여러분 뭐 과거 동사를 써서 대답해야 되는데 이건 아직 선생님이 자세히 가르치지 않았기 때문에 여러분 이런 식으로 한번 여러분 대화를 나눠보세요. I have played. 민준이는 어떤 학교죠? 튜바. I have played 다음에 악기는 반드시 뭘 써야 된다 했죠? 이 정관사 더를 써야 돼요. 튜바, for를 쓰든지 since를 쓰든지 여러분 선택하면 되고요. 토니는 악기 지금 연주하고 있는 게 있어?
없어요.
그러면 그 전에는?
피아노.
그러면 이거 좋은 경험이 되겠네. 여러분 옛날에는 했는데 지금은 안 하는 거 할 때 영어로 좋은 표현했어요. 뭐라고요? 예전에 했지만 지금은 안 하는 거.
But I am not.
뭐 그래도 되지만 used to라는 표현이 있어요. 하곤 했다. I used to play the 이렇게 악기를 합니다. 나는 이거 하곤 했다. 이 말은 지금은 하고 있어, 안 하고 있어?
지금 안 하고.
예, 지금 안 하고 있을 때 used to라는 아주 유용한 표현이 있어요. 하곤 했다는 뜻이에요. 그래서 나는 뭐 I used to play the piano 이렇게 하면 돼요. 그때 그러면 몇 년을 했는지 말하고 싶을 때는 그러면 I played 그냥 단순 과거를 말합니다. I played the piano for
or since.
그렇게 하려면 현재 완료 과거 완료해서 어렵잖아.
예.
그리고 그냥 for만 쓰면 돼 그때는. For 2 years, for 3 years 이렇게.
내가 몇 년 했지?
알겠니? 오케이.
내가 몇 년 했지?